One name in particular stood out. Kyle Butters Jr.
It should stand out. Here's a
Do better, Kyle Butters Jr.
yes,
Do
exactly.
better.
Do you want
Think
to hear
about
his build,
who.
his Witch Doctor build? He gets an Ags and a Refresher on Witch Doctor every game. Refresher on Witch
Okay.
Doctor. Who does this thing?
Okay, but that's fire though. This guy has a plan.
It's
Not
a
a very
terrible
good one.
plan. It's a
Not a
terrible
very
plan.
yet you have to shoot for the stars.
Oh no. No,
You do.
please don't give him
You do.
encouragement. Don't
Well,
give him
you know, we're
encouragement.
shaming him. Kyle Butters Jr. Shame. Shame
Shame
on
on
you.
you. Shame on
Shame.
you.
Shame.
They banned
Beware.
Visage, by the way. IlleGAL.
Yeah. They probably just did not like that early game pressure that he was
Yeah,
exerting on these towers. Like this, Visage has this ability to just hold areas of the map and have this vision control and just kind of stop people from walking uphill if he's set up with another teammate, really.
right.
And just get it out of the way. They have a Grandmaster Visage player. We don't want to deal with it. That was
Agreed.
stressful, they say.
Agreed. And I think the silencer ban, I'm sure I've seen IlleGAL play silencer quite a bit in the previous games. I've certainly
Mm.
seen a lot of silencer. Grimstroke, now we're talking. Love, love, love Grimstroke. Love this hero.
I got so much to say. I didn't really get to catch many of the games, but Silencer busted. That hero is so busted.
Really,
Like
what is busted?
this build that they're doing you can put him on like any role at this point, really, and they're just going for this Veil build with like Max on his last word and Arcane Curse, and you put that on a support hero. Put both of your spells, they die. With a veil, they die. It's
Wow.
ridiculous. They just die so quickly, and outside of that, you do have this ability to just completely counteract smoke ganks with one button.
Mm,
Global silence. You don't have to be well positioned on the map to stop a smoke gank, right? You
right.
just need that. You just need to be able to watch the map and just press it in time. He just feels so strong right now, and I'm not surprised that he did well this tournament. You know, F that hero. Big F.
Oh my
F
goodness.
F him. He makes me angry, but I'm spamming him, by the way. Shameless.
You're standing him, did you say?
Spamming. I have been spamming him in my posts.
Oh, that's unacceptable.
It is, but
What
you
are they going to
can't.
pick? By the way, sorry, this Lich pick is to counter the Lich Grim combo, I think, because that's the only reason I could think you would first pick Lich. I don't really like this hero, and I love Lich, but I don't think he's particularly strong at the moment. Prove me wrong. Is he Pog now
Uh,
or what?
Actually, so I'm of the opinion that like Lich is a fine hero. He's not really the best when it comes to mine, but like his frost armor is so useful. It's so useful, and you can pair it up with like a tanky melee hero like Beastmaster
Right,
and just
right.
make them all that stronger. Obviously, there's like tower defense potential, but if you're gonna pick Lich in your draft, first phase would be it, because yeah, first phase typically you do want to pick the best hero available to you, but there's nothing wrong with first phasing your 5 because you don't want to have heroes that you want later banned out, right? And you don't want to reveal too much information on your draft.
I just
So
think the
it's not the
Grim Axe
worst.
is such a good combo as well. Like I really love that combo. I do this all the time in my
Yes,
pubs as well because the
but
Inkswell gives Axe move speed and
yeah.
his the hunger also gives him move speed, so you can just run down the carry. But they do now know they're up against an Axe, so presumably they're not going to pick
May,
a
may
melee
I
laner.
may I speak about my poor lost love Grimstroke?
Yes,
So they added 1 whole second on Inksel, which a lot of people are like, oh, isn't that a buff? 1 more second of move speed? No, it's not a buff because yes, move speed is cool, and you can think about it as okay, here's the upside, you get more move speed, but the strength in things like Grim and Axe or Grim and Tiny or Grim and Ricky, right? The strength in this was the ability to just stun instantly. Have a hero that jumps and you want that instant follow up on the Inkswell. It just takes way too long to proc. Now, if you put Inkswell on Axe and he calls, they can get away from the Inkswell in
right.
theory, right? It doesn't pop right after. So the chain stunning of Inkswell is gone.
You
The
just
chain
gotta
stunning
you just gotta
potential.
cast it 1 second earlier.
So sure, but that's not really what you want to see out of it, right? Like, so let me give you a hypothetical. Axe calls a puck with an Inkswell on him. When the call is over, he can just phase shift,
But
and
you
he
should
won't
you
get
put
hit
your
by the
silence
Inkswell.
on him at that point.
I guess, but I'm just giving you an example of like what I've seen. The
Okay.
chain stunning potential of this spell kind of got negated on a lot
Wow.
of these really popular combinations. And like this tiny combo, like I put Inksol in my tiny. He goes in, Avatosses, the Inksol doesn't pop, the hero dies before Inksol even pops. Like
Yeah,
if it's
that's
like a
true.
squishy hero.
That's true.
It's just so sad. It's really sad. I really don't like this change, and they haven't changed the audio indicator in the game yet. So you hear the little
Oh,
and you think it's gonna pop, but then it just doesn't. There's just a whole extra second and a half, and you're what? Can you fix that, please? It's so counterintuitive.
goodness.
I'm
No, yeah, you're right.
I'm just not comfortable playing Grimstroke right now. It's so sad.
I still find him a
Please,
lot of fun, but then
he
my
is
a
fun.
second to me is, I who notices that? I'm not playing at the level where obviously that second counts. So I honestly
Please,
hadn't really noticed.
please fix my boy, please. It really counts when you're chain stunning. That's really what it comes
Yeah,
down
that's
to.
that. Yeah, you're right.
Also, TP cancels. Like if Ink Saws or TP cancel, they're always going to TP out. It's very sad.
True that.
Even if you place it early. So it just feels like, to me, it's a nerf. A lot of people will make an argument for movement speed, but I really haven't seen Grimstroke in my pubs often. I think a lot of Grimstroke players feel the same way.
I mean, I just love it's so easy to double stack with him. That's
Mhm.
one of my other favorite things to do. And all right, so in the cast yesterday, I want to hear your opinion on this, Effie. Okay, I can't remember who was casting yesterday, but they were having a go. I think it was a Grimstroke versus Wind Ranger, and they
Mhm.
were saying that Stroke of Fate is like a worse power shot. Now, to me, Stroke of Fate is a much better power shot, and
Okay, who would say that
I can't
about
remember.
Stroke of
That's what I
Fate?
said. I literally went. I was like, I put my hands on the desk. I was like,
Okay.
what?
No! Stroke of Fate is a power shot on steroids.
Right,
What? But if it's better for wave clear, like sure, if you're gonna like zoom out and say, if you power shot a single target, right? If you shackle and power shot, that's more damage than a Stroke of Fate on a single
right,
target because it needs to go through units. But you're looking at these spells for their wave clear ability, right? You're looking at
exactly.
it versus like heroes like Beastmaster versus heroes like Broodmother versus these summon heroes. You
Oh,
don't want a power shot versus these heroes because it does nothing. Whereas Grimstroke, boom, the power,
the
the power,
money,
just
the power,
the
and the money is Grimm's.
the money and the power.
Also, he talks so
Minute
much
after
trash
minute.
in game. If you notice, Grimstroke's always just slagging people off. Oh, I thought you were special. Ooh, you're nothing special. He's just always having a go at people. I love
Hey,
that. I
true, true.
love that.
But really quick, let's just talk about some of the heroes that
Oh yeah,
came out
sorry, go for it.
for Grimstrokes of Wastelands. Right. So obviously we talked about the combo potential with Grim and Axe. It does make me a little bit sad to just not see the Inksong go off when it should.
Mm-hmm.
But these heroes are able to play together and look for key kills. And Warlock is a hero that I'm not particularly fond of in this meta just because I feel like he's very slow. But if you pair him with something like Weaver,
Oh
who
man.
can get harassed in lane,
Yep.
that's a lot of sustain. That's just something he doesn't necessarily have to worry about. Warlock does play a slower game, but he has that big team fight ultimate, right? So he can follow up on an axe call, for example,
Yep.
or on a nicely placed soulbind. You can get like a nice two, like can get a nice stun on two heroes. So there's nice team fight potential and pick-off potential actually coming out
Yeah.
of IlleGAL right now. Whereas TLA, what do they have so far? Lich and Beastmaster. I actually quite like this combination. I really do like Lich with any kind of melee hero,
Like a
just
beefy
because
melee
they
hero to
yeah,
to yeah.
they benefit from the frost armor, and also when you have a Beastmaster, you're the one who's going for the early pushes, which they actually did last game with the Visage. So this could be
Yes.
kind of a substitute for what they were doing
You're
then.
right. Yep.
But this Shadow Demon pick is very nice against Axe because now you're not worried about this Blade Mail Axe call on whoever your hero may be. And a
Yep.
hero like Void, what's he scared of when he plays against Axe? He's scared of his getting Blade Mail called and just dying, but Shadow Demon is the save for that.
Oh,
For
so
so
good.
long, yeah, so long as Shadow Demon doesn't get caught, he can hypothetically save against Axe Call. He can save against the Warlock Golem Stun, just disrupt someone and wait till it's over. And he can purge Axe, who does not like to be purged in fights. He just kind of becomes useless.
Oh yeah.
Not so much versus Weaver. I would say Weaver isn't a hero that cares about playing versus Shadow Demon, so that was like a nice pick by them there. But the Shadow Demon in this game has a lot of potential to like make very good defensive plays.
Yeah, for sure. I do think Weaver does care about being trapped in a chronosphere, though. That is definitely not a fun time for Weaver.
And time dilation. He does not like
He
playing against
does
that spell.
not. Now,
Um,
if you Shadow Demon ult the Weaver, presumably his Shikuchi means he runs it like ultra, ultra, ultra slow, right? So that would be quite good at stopping him scuttle and weave. Like you could stop that a wee bit. with the Shadow
Sure,
Demon
yeah.
out.
It's good, but like when I think about heroes that hate playing against Shadow Demon,
Oh yeah,
ranged carries in particular do a lot better. So that's what I meant by calling
yeah,
out Weaver, right?
yeah,
Like range carries who just like stand and fight their ground for a bit, uh, don't mind it nearly
yeah.
as much as
It's
a
not like a life
PA
stealer
or
or a
a
PA,
Chaos
yeah,
Knight or a
something
Life
like that.
Stealer. Yeah. But the Faceless Void versus Weaver matchup is actually really nice for Faceless Void. If he gets him in a chrono, he'll probably die. If he gets the good time dilation off, it's a good spell versus Warlock, Grimstroke, and Axe,
Well, we
as well
just
as the Weaver.
saw a really good Faceless Void performance out of IlleGAL. So now TLA, they're going to turn
Yep.
around and give them a Void. What do they pick here? What would you pick here? They banned Tinker. What would you pick
Oh,
here as a mid?
also, we've got the tried and true Void and Lich combo, where maybe last game they didn't
Oh,
have chrono damage in the early game, so we didn't get to feel the
right.
impact of Faceless Void until later, until after that BKB and until after Void was able to just stand her ground and fight. But they do correct that with chrono and Chain Frost. You always have the ability to fight now, even in the early game, and that's really what they're going for. This Beastmaster pick, actually.
The puck pick again. I mean, basically, if he's not getting roared by Beastmaster or Chronosphere, he's fine. Like, there's really very few ways to catch him on three-letter acronym. So this is going to be Jamie plays gamies again on the puck and put
Mm.
in an MVP performance last game. I'm kind of surprised they didn't ban him. They banned Pudge instead.
This can be a very good puck game too. Like when you're looking at these backline supports of SD and Lich, they hate playing versus puck because they don't really have the means to stun him,
They do
right?
not.
And if they get caught in the background, like if the Shadow Demon gets silenced, in theory, Axe should be able to just burst this Faceless Void if he is controlled by this puck,
Yeah.
which they are going to be looking to do. And overall, this draft out of IlleGAL just ticks a lot of boxes for me. They have a strong late game. Sure, the matchup isn't the best versus Void, but Weaver, strong hero in its own right, can kill these backline heroes alongside the puck. And they have Warlock for teamfight security. They have Soulbind for teamfight security.
Mm-hmm.
And three-letter acronym went for another kind of early game lineup with the Beastmaster being the crux of their draft so far. They don't particularly have a real initiator outside of Void in the early game. They don't have like something like a Slardar who can do what they did last game and just constantly look for these fights. They have to pick their fights very carefully, win their lanes, and just run down lanes again on TLA.
Oh man, I'm
So
getting I'm getting some serious flashbacks. I played a game last night, and there was an Ember Spirit in it, and it was very unpleasant. The Ember Spirit completely destroyed us. This hero is, I think, if he can get even anything, he doesn't even need much to get going early on and just cause chaos. I could imagine
mhm.
him really trying to shut down IlleGAL early
the
here.
the thing is, Ember can die so easily this game. If he gets silenced by Grim and then
Oh yeah,
Inkswelt, called by Axe, coiled by Puck, right clicked by Weaver. Like there's so many ways to kill the Ember this game. It's going to be a rough one for him and a rough
yeah.
one for Void too, because the argument that I made applies to this hero as well. I'm definitely really, really liking what IlleGAL did here. I think TLA are going to have to outplay their enemies every step of the way this game to
It's
get
going to
the
be
win.
tough. It's going to be
Yeah.
tough. So sorry, was Paradise mid last time? Who was the Lena last
It
time?
was
It
it was
was okay.
Paradise. Yeah.
Oh, like
Hey,
Paradise,
Paradise. I like
Paradise.
it.
Yep, I
Like
just got
nice,
that. I
nice,
just
nice.
got that.
Shout out. Um Honestly, I was kind of hoping that TLA would not play a similar kind of strategy to last game just because it is easier to mess that up, but it looks like that's what they like to do. It's what they're comfortable with.
I mean, we did. You
So,
did say like they weren't too far off winning the game. They just kind of made a couple of boo boos trying to go high ground that went badly, even with the Aegis. So I feel like, as you said, if that had gone well instead, suddenly the game's completely different. So maybe they just think, you know what, we're happy with the strat. It was a bad execution. Let's try again. We're going to do it this time. But I think this is going to be,
mhm.
as you said, I think this is going to be a very hard game for them because
Well, all eyes for me should be on Custard, on the Beastmaster,
right,
because he is going to be the centerpiece of their draft. He's going to be the hero they rally behind. If he gets his timing with his HOD and can just run down these lanes, he can make the map small enough where that IlleGAL don't necessarily have that much room to play with in the
yeah.
early game, right? And Beastmaster is not this is so annoying to play against. But you do have Grimstroke with the Stroke of Fate. You do have the Axe later on. You do have Warlock fatal bonds for his summons. Like there are ways to deal with their heroes this game. So like I said, it's going to be hard, but yeah, all eyes on this Beastmaster. Let's see if he can pull through for his team.
Sorry, one
I
sec.
wonder if there's gonna be a blood. I'm
I
speaking by
just dropped
myself.
some. I dropped something.
Oh boy.
I'm just hyped. I love Lich. I learned to play Dota playing Lich. He was my guy when I first started, like in 2012. My friend was like, "Look, this was when Lich still had sacrifice and stuff like that." He said, "Look, you're terrible. You just need to learn what's happening in the game and still somehow be useful. So play Lich and just sacrifice the range creep in lane, and you'll help me win the lane. Job done." Like, and then in the fights, just chuck your ult if you see two lads close together. Doesn't matter if you die. He's the perfect hero for you to learn Dota on. And at the time, he was. And then they changed Lich, and they gave him now this Sinister Gaze, which is nowhere near as good as Sacrifice. Barely makes up
What?
for it. What? If you listen to me, young lady, Sacrifice was the best spell in the world. I loved it, and they got rid of it. Oh, this could be serious trouble here. It's gonna be a first blood for Paradise. Oh, that sets mid up nicely, and they get the ward. Oh
Okay,
dear.
that is best case scenario to get the first blood on your mid lane and just have them get the bottle all that earlier. Makes so that he can actually be aggressive on this lane and not care about taking hits from the puck, which is pretty much what you want. When you're in Ember playing versus a puck, you do get right click down a lot, right? But this early bottle is going to offset that. I don't think Sacrifice was the greatest spell in Dota. I think you're something.
No, it was so good. You just
So
won the
it's
lane.
so one-dimensional. Yes, you press a button and you win the lane.
Yeah.
Now you have Sinister Gaze. You have the Gaze.
It's not great. It's
It's
like
so
look at
cool.
even at max level. Look at it on max level. What is Sinister Gaze? Like 2.2 seconds or something stupid like that.
Now Lich has a TP cancel. Like that's something
Yeah, it's alright.
you always lacked. You have a TP cancel.
You know what? He used to
cool
have a
ability.
TP cancel. He used to have a TP cancel. They took it away. You can't give me this and claim it's good. His ult used to stop TPs, and then they took that away. They were taking it away. We'll give it back on Sinister Gaze.
Believe you right now. I just can't believe you. Can we watch the mid lane, please? It looks like there's a little bit of back and forth. I do see the puck on the enemy clip. Alright. Nice.
He's level 3. Speed Paradise is gonna... Sorry, Paradise. I see... when I see a tag, Speed dot Paradise, I'm tempted to read the whole thing. But I'm not gonna.
So, Jamie, from what we've seen last game, is the type of player to just play incredibly confident on his puck and just always be right-clicking, the enemy always be standing on his cliff. So it's going to be a much easier job for him this game versus Ember than it would be versus Lina. Because Lina is typically a hero that is not afraid to just whack away at
Yeah, we saw that. I've got to say, you know, I was surprised. Oh, he gets him! Wow. This is such a repeat of game 1. Puck just dies early on trying to trade with the hero they shouldn't be trading with, and then he's going to come back and win the game, I'm sure. Exploding Cow's probably going to go down here. Exploding Cow does indeed go down.
Nice kills in the bot lane. He could have just jaunted out early, but he likes to push his limits on this hero, it seems. He just wanted to get as many right clicks in on Ember as he could, but another miscalculation.
And was going for that water rune.
Look at that IlleGAL, dude. What was that audio cue? Please fix
There's like a pause before it stuns now, isn't it?
If you care about the Grimstroke players, the support players of your game, please fix this for us. It feels so wrong, you know? It's just wrong. It's not right.
What items do you get on Grim? You play support Grim, like 5 Grim, right? Or 4 Grim?
4 or 5 depending on the game.
I prefer 4, but
typically on Grim,
what do you get?
Just you go like Lens, Shard, Glimmer. Usually that would just be the best build.
So you go Ether Lens first?
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
Of course.
I've been telling everyone in the in-houses that this is bad and that you should get a glimmer cape before anything, so you're actually useful.
If you can get your Lens first, you always should. It just makes you so much stronger.
Good heavens.
Good heavens.
Void picking up a little kill on the axe. This is revolutionary thinking, Effie, honestly.
Is it? I feel like it's pretty standard.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, to me, it's like I see these lads and they get an Ether Lens because they're bad. It takes them till like 23 minutes to get it.
Oh, okay. So typically when you're getting Lens first, you get it around like minute 14 or something like that. It shouldn't be coming out at minute 24.
Right.
But But like, if you're a Grimstroke and you're playing from behind, you want to be able to cast your spells to be useful, and it's hard to do that without enough items.
Oh no! Oh, he got the rune. He got the rune this time. Paradise is going to try and get the top rune.
And he's zoning him out from walking into the mid lane. God.
God, so much damage Ember does.
I've got to say, the mid lane in this game and the last game have just been so back and forth.
They
And
have.
I think a lot of it is probably due to Jamie just miscalculating a little bit, just going for the ultra aggro plays and just falling a little short. But that is a typical puck player, right? That's what
You push
distinguishes
it.
a good
Yeah,
puck from
you
a bad.
push
Like, you
it.
have to push it.
I also think, you know what, when you've just played a hero, don't you find you've just played a hero, you play another game, the same hero, and you're kind of still in the mindset of the previous game, where you were like level 22 or whatever, and you had items, and now you're going back in and, oh, wait, yeah, I forgot, I'm only level 3, I can't do this stuff. Oh, 12 HP, all right, well, that is pushing it.
Honestly, Paradise is just
Yeah,
dominating this lane.
really crushing it.
He's playing very well. Hats off to him. But a lot of that can be attributed, right, to a couple of things. One is the early bottle, and of course the very nice kill, the solo kill that he was able to get on Puck.
Yep. Oh, oh, and he died again. Oh, Jamie, 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 you're pushing it. You're pushing it.
Pushing it a little bit too far, unfortunately. We missed that exchange, but well played to Ember. Just complete dominance on this mid lane at the moment, and that's really what you need to see. Because we were talking about how they put themselves on another timer and went for a similar kind of draft.
Right.
And there's a lot on this Beastmaster's shoulders. But now that the Ember is having a much better start than we would have expected him to, we're going to start seeing these side lane rotations. And Ember rotating on a Weaver and a Warlock early on is going to get kills. It's going to be a big problem.
Oh, they're looking for the bash, the stun. Zach's gonna get this stun off here.
Dude, it's so sad. It's so sad.
I'm sorry, but that's secured a kill, Effie. I think Ice Front does know what he's doing.
It's just so sad, dude. It just takes too long, and he would have died earlier. Like, it's just the audio. Doesn't it feel weird to you to just hear the?
Yeah, it does hear a little weird. I'll be honest with you. I lack sympathy because you have zero sympathy for Sacrifice being taken out of the game, and now all of a sudden,
Sacrifice is a boring spell for boring.
No, it was awesome.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. What do you mean? It's just so. What, you press a creep and you eat it and it gives you mana? Then
yes.
What do you do after the lane?
I'll tell you what. There are very few heroes in Dota now that are noob friendly. Lich was the guy that you could be like, if you don't know how to play, just play Lich. Nice and easy, he'll still be useful. He's great. And now they were like, oh no, Wraith King. And then they made Wraith King more complicated and gave him more buttons. It's all just constant making it harder for the noobs. You gotta have a hero that's easy to play. Lich was my boy.
Lich is still easy to play.
Nah, it's got too many spells now for the lads.
So how many spells is too many spells, period?
More than one.
More than one? Like, you're gonna have a hard time finding a hero you like in this
Exploding
game.
Cow in trouble. Beastmaster does have Roar. No, not gonna go.
Grace is on a dominating streak, completely popping off in this bottom lane. This is really what you want to see.
Actually, Beastmaster doesn't have Roar, and Puck dies again! Weaver has gone for this Falcon Blade. What's the deal with people getting the Falcon Blade? What is it? What's so good about it?
It's just really cheap. Like, the build-up is nice, and the most important thing for a hero like Weaver is just the mana regeneration. Ever since the removal of Aquila, ever since that was a long time ago, but typically on Weaver you would buy like Aquila, right?
Right.
Or just Basilius, but Basilius kind of got bad too. Just became a support item. It doesn't really give stats.
Right.
It only gives regen. Falcon Blade is just like, what, 1k gold? You get the much needed mana regen, a little bit of extra HP. It's just cheap and it's efficient. What Falcon Blade is to me is it's the budget Aquila. It's the Walmart Aquila.
But you can still get an Aquila, you just gotta wait till tier 2 items, right? So.
Yeah, but you do need that Aquila in the early game.
Yeah.
You do need this.
It's kind of useless actually as a tier 2 item because it's like, it's too late by that point, isn't it, really? It's like, well, Thanks, but no
It's
thanks.
just nice. Honestly, I feel like it's there for nostalgia's sake. Like, I wouldn't mind if
Right.
they removed it from the tier 2 item list and just gave a better one because a lot of the times in pubs, I'll see my carry literally swap out their Vambrace for an Aquila.
Wow.
Are you insane? Your Vambrace is far better than your Aquila, but it just makes people feel good to have that item. They're like,
Yeah.
I remember this. Like, this is my item.
This used to be
Want
my
some mana
go-to
regen?
item. I love
You
it.
know, I'll take it for the mana regen, but like if your Vambrace toggling, it's better than the mana regen from
Right.
Akira.
By the way, this puck is 2 levels behind the Ember. What does the Ember have? I'll have to see what the Ember's got. Oh dear, they might get the Void. Nope, he's out. He's out. There you go, Effie. You see that Inkswell stun? The nerf
Yep.
to that meant he lived, I'm sure.
We didn't quite catch what happened from
I
the
didn't
beginning to the
either.
end, but
I'm just trying to be on your
it's
side here on this one.
you know, they can keep the nerf. They can keep it as a 4-second slot. They really just need to change the audio indicator.
Oh dear. Is Jamie going to successfully debate Paradise here? Can't get the call! Here comes Shadow Demon to try and help out. Gets the banish, the silence. He's going to be able to get rid of it. Well, that brought quite a few heroes to the mid lane.
That was like a don't touch my mid laner kind of thing. 3
Yeah.
TPs.
Yeah.
Hey, you get away from him right now, this instant.
Oh.
And
Oh my, he's still here. Gotta be careful. Oh.
jeez, Paradise is going for it. He's relentless in his
did-
pursuit of this puck. He's not letting
Has he
him
got a
be.
raindrop or something on the puck? Oh, the roar going in. Just as a leave me alone. He must have raindrops or something on the puck because the Ember Spirit didn't seem to do any damage to him.
Now that the Axe has
No,
his
he
Vanguard,
doesn't.
he can actually sit on the Beastmaster lane, and I like what they've done. They've put the Weaver top. Even though still haven't gotten that top tower, it's just a nice place for a Weaver to be, just because you really don't want to sit on this Beastmaster lane anymore. There's
Right.
too much pressure, not enough farm, and Axe with the Vanguard should be able to sit there very comfortably unless they bring in added hero rotations, which it looks like they're doing. They've brought both supports down to the bottom lane, but Axe is just kind of sitting in the jungle and waiting. That's really like the nice thing about having these Vanguard builders on your team. You can always put them on these Brood lanes, these Beastmaster lanes,
Right.
these Lycan lanes with no fear.
I also think it's like, you know that at some point he's going to go off to the jungle, right? Because he's got the Vanguard and he's just going to do that. He's going to be working on a blink. It kind of gives some extra time to your other heroes to get a bit of lane time and get some XP on their own as well, which I always think is, as a support, I value.
Yeah, and this is a part of the game that I just call like the Axe downtime, where he's just sitting on a lane and
Right.
stopping the push and just like waiting for his blink dagger.
Oh, they're going to get the Void here, I think. Oh, just.
Wow, the hero died before Inksol even popped. Grace was not in range, but still. I just want you to know that's literally been the story of Inksol ever since the change.
Lich is
That's
in
just
here.
A lot of Sag.
Lich is in here. He's
energy.
looking. He's looking for. Oh, there's the axe
Oh
rotation. They
no,
caught
the
him.
Axigan.
Is he going to be able to? I think he's already. This could be trouble for Paradise, but no. Oh, the Lich ult. It's a non-bouncer. It's a non-bouncer on the Lich ult. Oh, Axford. Oof. The stacks of poison doing it for him in the end. Custard here is going to give the clicks to the Warlock. Oh, that Lich armor, ensuring he can catch him. Fuck, is he going to have to back up? TLA crushing it here.
Really nice rotation by the entire team to just go and secure that mid tower with their Beastmaster. This is really what this hero does. This is his time of the game to shine. This is his time of the game to just choke out his enemies and just be a nuisance. And that Axe was like a nice little freebie. He TP'd in to defend, but unfortunately he kind of found the entire enemy team there.
Well, Kitty Power is well positioned, just looking for that TP. Oh, here we go. Oh, but he's going to pay for it. Where is he?
The disruption!
Get him! The disruption saved Kitty Power. Run, Kitty!
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Honestly, well played by Shadow Demon. The play on Axe, really nice. The save there, really nice. Nice chrono by Greenbox. What I was saying earlier was, I think when you're playing versus heroes like Beastmaster, you have to be able to recognize that you do need to make concessions, right? So in that situation where they were getting the mid tower, it would have been better for the Axe to just stay bottom and get closer to his Blink Dagger instead of try to defend that tower. Because at this point of the game, it's not easy to defend. It's not defendable. Right?
Also, he was so close.
To be able to recognize when to make these concessions is going to be very important for IlleGAL here.
Yeah. Hucker's gonna look for something here. Does have Dream Coil. Catches
nice
two.
Coil.
There's the call. He's gonna come, but Valkyrie! Then they get more. Ember Spirit's here to fight. Oh, the bug just melted. Down comes the wall just to try and tie things up. Ember able to escape. They're gonna back this up here. They are linked by the Grimstroke. Oh, dunk denied. Not cool. Not cool. Gracejam's looking for Ember.
I gotta say, Pyrian, that was such a nice call. Both of those heroes were on the very edge of the call.
They were.
On either end of Axe. It could have missed, but God, it's so nice to see. That was so satisfying.
Now, dunk. Okay, the dunk has to be the best spell in the game. That's the most satisfying one to land. Jumps in the air, ka-klonk, yeah! Just turns them into tiny pieces. I love it so much.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Ka-klonk.
And then everybody just runs around. Your whole team is like, ah! They're just running in excitement. That's how hype it is.
Can we switch to net worth, please? Our dear observer.
Fantasy points. Weaver gets the arcane rune. Does get banished for his trouble.
Oh, look at that Ember just topping the net worth.
Yeah, way up there.
Really, he's played a very dominant game.
Oof. 3k gold lead on Puck. Has a Deso already. Good heavens. I thought you got bots on this hero.
I like this Deso. I really like this Deso pickup, and it's because he's playing with Beastmaster. That added tower push with the Deso is going to be so nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the extra damage, and he could just play on Slight and not really get close. We were saying that Ember could have a very difficult game, right? Because he's playing against Grimstroke and Axe and Puck. But if he just plays on this Deso Sleight of Fist, he can output severe amounts of damage without actually putting himself in harm's way.
Why no bots, though? I thought that was the thing.
He's just playing on this Deso build, right? You want the phase boots for the
just
early...
Just go for that, yeah.
The early damage and just the early extra durability.
Jeez. Puck lost like a third of... Oh, the call! Does catch him, but is there any follow-up? There's that banish you were talking about. The Dream Coil does catch the Ember. He might be in trouble here. The Roar comes in. He's still leashed. The Lich Shard's going to do some serious bouncing, baby! Oh, and there's the Chrono. Gracejam used his ult to get out. Sorry, Grace used her ult to get out. They're going to get the Grimstroke before it pops. They are all linked. But that's 3. That's 3 for none. Ember lived.
TLA are feeling themselves right now. They're just going for it. It just feels like everyone's casting their spells correctly. Shadow Demon's doing his job. Void's there with the follow-up. Ember's doing insane amounts of damage. My biggest qualm with that Axe initiation was that while it was good initially, there was no one there to follow up.
There was no follow-up. Where
no
team?
On the call.
Where was team?
So, Axe, there's a lot of on Axe's shoulders right now to just find these perfect initiations, and a lot of that is going to be patience and just waiting for your team to be nearby as well.
He also went in again there. That could have also been bad because they don't have. Actually, they do have golems this time. They didn't have them for that fight. That might have changed things up a little bit. Might have secured the kill on the Ember, I think, but they didn't quite have it. But then again, like you said, maybe the timing just wasn't quite right, or they went on the same page. I think they're rattled. They're rattled. 5k down.
Yeah.
Down 4. It's only 4 kills down, but look how pinched they are on the map. This Beastmaster shoving it.
Right, but we've seen their ability, just like last game, to play from behind. So I hope to see them do similar things this game and not just try to brute force it, because they have to recognize they are playing from behind right now and they don't necessarily have the follow-up damage. If they don't get this really fast burst with the Axe, they're gonna get disrupted by Shadow Demon, they're gonna get Cronut afterwards, there's gonna be armor on the target. Like, they have to be playing for these key pickoffs in good positions, right? And to find these good positions in team fights, you have to set them up by splitting them up, forcing heroes back, playing on vision, things like that. You can't just brute force your Axe and just run him in every time.
They're going for this puck here.
A lot in the
Oh, they catch the puck! Hexed! Hexed!
It's a pick pull,
He pick pull! He pick...
It's a pick
I was
pull.
just
No one
terrified there
has
for a
a
second.
hex yet.
Who the hell's got a hex? It's 18 minutes! Forgot about the pick pull.
Don't you worry. That would have been absurd.
Breathe. Well,
Yeah, this
here it
Puck's had
comes.
a bit of a rough one this game.
It's tough sometimes.
Let's say this looks really great by TLA. If they can get their Roche timing,
Oh, Paradise just
if they can
dodging
get
that.
their Roche timing, and like just set up for like a nice play right
Yep,
now,
yep.
and just go for the Roche afterwards, they're gonna have a much easier time pushing this high ground because they're not playing against Winter Wyvern like they were last game,
Right, right.
and they do have the Deso from Ember. They do have the ability to just get these towers fast.
Also, you know what they're doing different to last time? They are not stopping. They're not saying, oh, it's 12 minutes, 15 minutes, we won the lanes, let's just go farm for a bit. They're after them. That is a three-man chrono. If Green can catch it, catches two!
Beautiful.
One of them is the puck. Huge! They're going to catch more as well. Going to get the wall up before he gets his ult off. They do with the bashes. Axe is here. He's rooted. He is going to go down as well. That's three. Warlock buys back. Coming in, trying to drop the rock. But no, they've lost Axe. They've lost puck. The fight is over. Straight to Roche? TLA or not?
I would
Let's
hope
see.
so. I would hope so. It would just be a simple matter to walk into the fight. There still is Golem though.
There is indeed. Have they got time? Oh, look at that.
Honestly, they just don't really have the means to fight them that well. It feels like Puck is just always dead at the start of these fights.
How many
He's
times
always
has Puck
getting caught off on a side.
I want to say Puck's died 6 times. That's how many times I reckon it's been.
I'll say
Which
5.
is not great. I'm going to say 6.
I'll say 5.
You say 5, I'm going to say 6. Hasn't quite been there yet.
I was wrong. But
How many
so
times
are
is it?
you.
7? Good heavens. I was closer.
Hey,
I win.
that
I was
rhymed.
closer. Yeah, this has not been the Puck game. Doesn't even have the Witchblade yet. Definitely had it last time at this stage. But, I mean, it happens. Yep, you better run. That is a level 15 Ember Spirit coming at you. Has Aegis, has Crystallis as well as Deso now. Whew.
Yeah. Do you like this change to Aegis, by the way, where you can see the timer on it?
No.
Like, it feels like Dota over the years has been becoming more convenient, right? And
Yeah.
like easier to interact with, and that's not a bad thing at all. But it's just kind of sad because it does feel like timing Aegis perfectly was a skill thing.
Yeah, yeah.
If a lot of people did that correctly, they kind of like waited out the Aegis the correct moment and just go, and it was something that was rewarded by actually putting effort into it.
I agree.
And it's
I
kind of gone
100%
now.
agree.
But when you think about Aegis, it probably should have always been that way. So I don't want to like keep making the game easier or
Right,
anything
right.
like that.
That's what
it's
I'm
just-
worried about when I say no, I don't like it. Oh, big initiation there. The Grimstroke got as well, tying him up, but it's only going to get the Aegis. Can Void get his Chronosphere off? No, he's just going to leap away. Ember's in here as well on the back lines. They're trying to look for Weaver. He's able to time lapse away. That was a great initiation, but they're not going to get anything from it, really, other than the Aegis. They used everything. They
That
used
is
everything,
unfortunate.
Effie.
They did, and now they're probably just gonna go down a lane and hit their buildings. They have really no means of fighting back. No coil, no golem.
They
Just an axe
didn't
call, but
even
not
use
enough
Chrono.
follow-up
Good heavens.
damage.
Didn't even
so
have
just
to use
sad
Chrono. They are crushing it.
It should be an easier axe at this point, as long as they don't, you know, decide to back off. I really hope they go with this siege creep. Tank for it, please tank for it. Okay, well done.
Oh, the call. The
Ooh.
save. Oh, that's a dead Ember. Holy cow. Void's gone
He
in. He's
didn't
gone in
banish
for the
the
Chrono.
Ember.
He's only got the Warlock. I don't know if this is worth it. Oh, no. Don't tell me they're going to blow it when they go high ground again. TLA, no. Jamie's on the hunt for more. Might pick up a kill on this Lich. Oh, he's been Shadow Demon ulted. Oh, the big call!
Beautiful.
Oh, he died on the Blade Mail! I think Lich died on the Blade Mail! Oh my goodness. Nice. IlleGAL with the turnaround. How? What is TLA's great weakness with these stairs? They're like the Daleks. They cannot go upstairs.
The reason why that went wrong was because Ember died. Shadow Demon's job when they go high ground is to disrupt Ember when Axe calls him, but he disrupted the Axe instead, and they were just able to kill the Ember. It's just a bit of a mistake. So when you're playing Shadow Demon versus Axe, you don't really want to disrupt the Axe. You want to disrupt person who's called because the rest of the team can still hit them.
Right.
The duration of the taunt doesn't go away because Axe is disrupted. So that was just a mistake by Shadow Demon. Hopefully they can recognize it and correct it, right? But just really, really beautiful. Like I'm so impressed by IlleGAL's ability to just find these high ground defenses because on paper they should not have been able to just go high ground there. I mean to die high ground there.
Oh,
They had the HOD creep, they had everything while IlleGAL had nothing.
that was quite the setback. Jamie now up to level 15 and has Blink.
And this is what I was talking about ease of execution. The amount of times you go high ground and mess it up in drafts like this make the game so much harder for you
Right.
because you're gonna eventually get worried about being outskilled. So the nice thing here is that Void and Ember do scale very, very well, but they do die in this game. Like on paper, you've got a Weaver versus an Ember Void, right? But they're playing against Coil, Axe Call, Soulbind, and Fatal Bonds, right?
Yeah.
Even though they do have on paper these carry heroes do die. You have to like look at the bigger picture here. So it's actually going to be harder and harder for TLA to play.
Well, they got the smoke, but they only got the Shadow Demon. Not exactly the target they were looking for, but they just sort of bumped into him. Not really much choice there. It's a pick. They might be able to push a tier 1 here. But
Yep,
Void, he's waiting in the rings. Doesn't have Chrono for a little while yet. That's not the
if
ladder you want to
illegal
go
one,
on. He does have Chrono now.
right, if illegal one can keep finding these call pickoffs at this stage of the game and just kind of offset the net worth lead before the next Roshan, I don't see why they shouldn't be able to destroy the next Rosh fight
Right.
with Bond's Golem in the pit. It should be so good for them. So hopefully they can stay a little bit proactive
So do
on
you think
Axe and
this is
just
like
look
just
for
these
things.
pickoffs when you're behind? These pickoffs are pretty much what you need to just keep it level, creep back into the game, and then take a big fight, like you said, with all their ults.
Yep.
Turn this thing on its
Don't
head.
exactly don't let them choke you out. Don't be scared on the map. Create your opportunities. It looks like they're going to be looking to make a play with Chrono and Chainfrost here. This is one of the things that I was talking about where I just hope they concede this and don't try to defend it.
Yeah. They're doing it. They are doing what they did in the first game and avoiding fights until they absolutely have to take them.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully for TLA, they can find these opportunities to maybe scout out the Axe, because that's the thorn in their side right now. Just Axe's ability to kill any one of their two cores
Right.
if he catches them correctly.
They're all going to make their way back up here to defend this tier 2. It looks like Void is just out here. This is crazy. The Lich ult does go in. It's going to do some bouncing. He gets the Chrono
Oh
up, but
no.
he's dead. But they do kill the Weaver and the Axe. But they've lost Lich and Void. And they're pushing down mid now.
So when you're playing from behind, these trades are actually good for you. Yes, your carry died, but look where your carry died.
Oh, yeah.
All the way next to the enemy tier 2 tower. It should not be that much of a concern, right? And you did get the enemy carry in return who is playing with a lead. So not the ideal trade, but still better for IlleGAL.
Yeah. Can they do anything about this push now? Without Weaver, without Axe?
They need Puck. They need Puck in base to clear this wave so that they don't force any buybacks here.
Oh my goodness. Warlock just dead! Wow.
Bit of a
Wowee.
mistake by Warlock, unfortunately, but they were trying to defend the base by themselves there. I'm not sure if Puck did Puck have his TP available? Interesting, he did.
I think maybe he just didn't expect the Warlock to just walk up there and get killed.
It's fine though, he'll respawn before they push again, and it's really not what happened just now is better for IlleGAL than it was for TLA. When Warlock is up, I really would like to see them go for a smoke play with the Golem. Like, just because the enemy team has been dominant for a while, it does not mean we cannot take these fights. We saw how efficiently and effectively they were able to kill Ember in a Golem and Axe Call.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Aegis melted in a second, right?
It really did.
I think a smoke... Warlock is holding on to 2 smokes. I do hope they go for something like that here. Be brave, IlleGAL. Be brave. It will pay off.
Was I saw you, I watched some of the Animajor. Was that your first event that you'd worked? Your first sort of big Dota event? Or had you done other stuff?
It was my first.
You seemed
Kinda.
very calm and cool, but were you nervous at the same time?
Oh my god, I was so nervous. Are you kidding me? I was just trying not to puke every time I was on camera. It was so
Oh,
horrible.
this is smoke into smoke, Effie. The dream.
Oh
Oh,
no,
they're gonna
Axe got
catch
caught
him
first.
out.
That's worst case scenario. The
Oh,
blink.
but wait a second! Woohoo! It's the turnaround, baby. They managed to get the Ember, but the Axe is down. But they kill the puck. They're gonna kill the Golem too. Oh my god, they just lost 3 heroes. Grace Jam coming in for the
The fatal
cleanup.
bonds.
The
No.
bonds. The double bonds.
She could have committed on that the lich and Shadow. They would have just died together with fatal bonds, but she didn't want to risk it. Yeah. Axe getting caught first, like I was talking about earlier. If you have the vision on the Axe and you just find him, that's what you need to do because he is the one stopping them. He's doing so much damage with this Blade Mail versus his Deso build by Ember. This Deso build is kind of killing the Ember, really. But that's not what can happen. If you want to win this game, you cannot have your Axe be the one getting caught
Absolutely.
first. Should be just a free Axe here. We did say that last time, though.
Oh, hello! Big
call
with the bonds. There's the banish they wanted. The Lich Shot is going to give them the go away. Custard might be in trouble. Custard has glimmered. Custard is fine. They didn't quite get the building. Oof. Oh my goodness, what was Void doing there? Trouble?
That banish was so good because it stopped the Blade Mail damage from Axe.
Oh no! Are they gonna get him? They got the Axe and they got the Weaver! Can they get the puck? There's the roar! They do, they get 3! Oh, I thought that was so bad for a second. The Void just sort of baited them in, they came in. Big Chrono! I had forgotten the other. Look at that one chain! He's gonna kill both of the supports! Holy moly!
Holy moly. This is super well played. That Shadow Demon saved the day.
100%!
Because imagine a single Axe call killing your 2 cores. It's really well played, the Chrono afterwards. Just, I'm glad that they've been able to just keep going, right? They weren't scared. They're like, we're not going to stop going high ground because we messed up once.
We are going, yeah. The time is still theirs, especially with Chronosphere. Get up there. And they're gonna, this is it. They're gonna get Megas right here. Oh, big 3, man. There it is again. The Vanish save. And he is dead instead. Call it. Put it in the books. It's gonna be 1-1.
What a great Shadow Demon pick.
Wow.
Honestly.
Well, this is gonna take some kind of miracle. They are gonna get some kills here, but it's worth it with the Mega Creeps. Oh! Perfectly timed Inkswell. Aeon Disc pop. Keep power going for the TP out. Is not going to make it. Look at this. This is trouble now. This is it. They got to fight against Mega Creeps. Unpleasant.
Very unpleasant. They have Axe for Mega Creeps, but they don't necessarily have the best Mega Creep defenders, right? They've got Fatal Bonds, Maelstrom, and Weaver. That's something, I suppose, but it's a rough one. It's looking really rough.
It's 32 minutes in. They're just not equipped for this. They're just not ready. Even if they can stop the Mega Creeps taking the base, and they're doing nothing else. They're just gonna have to spend all their time doing this.
The problem is, just when Chrono's up, which it will be when Void respawns, they can just run down mid and press their spells on the enemy team. And so long as Shadow Demon just gets the good disruption off, they'll win the fight and end the game, really. And if they want to be really safe, they can wait for the next status, but I don't really think.
I always feel like, don't you feel like that's the BM play in pubs? The Mega Creep, everybody, they've got no buybacks, they're all dead, you just go do Roche. See that all the time.
It's the safe play, right? There's nothing wrong with being safe. Like they'll probably just go and do it now since Dorshan is up. I didn't think he was. I didn't check. Oops. But he is up. But just going down mid, pressing Chrono and killing them all pretty much will seal the deal for this.
Oh no. Whoopsie.
Well, perhaps do no, that There's no Chrono.
And out comes the chat. You might wish to retract your last move. Now they're going to go for it. This is bold. I don't think they're going to go for it. I think they're just trying to stop it. What I want to know is, how does Roshan have so much trouble killing those little bugs? It's Roshan versus a bug.
Because Roshan is a big man, and he perhaps lacks the grace and dexterity to deal with something much more agile than him.
It just stands on his foot. He has a bug on his foot.
Yes, but he's just a clunky boy. He just clunks away. Look at him.
Oof. That spirit just saying,
I think if
you
IlleGAL want to have any chance of winning this game, they need to get to Roshan right now and just get the Fatal Bonds rock on Roshan, or it's
Jamie just wants to go for the snatch again. He wants to get the Aegis snatch again.
So this is their best chance to fight because Chrono is down and they know that. And there's nothing better you can ask for than a choke point fight with an axe and a warlock. It seems like they're a bit scared and they're respecting this puck, but they do have vision of the warlock in base, which shouldn't be that scary.
I think they just really, really don't want to get axe called and then warlock ulted, like he said.
Sure, but they have vision of warlock in base. He's defending, and they do have the Shadow Demon disrupt. That's come in clutch almost every single fight.
Surely, come
on, guys, you can do it.
Let's go.
You're giving them time.
You're not going to wait 100 seconds for Chrono again. You're going to win this fight.
If they want to be safe.
Look, Weaver's even helping you. He's put a bug on Roche for you.
Well, it looks like they're going for it. Very nice. What's the time left before Chrono is up again?
I reckon it's 80,
honestly,
85
so long as this
seconds
warlock is showing in base, they can take this fearlessly.
Yeah,
they can take this.
Oh, it's up. It's up.
Oh,
they waited that long. Well, time flies, I guess.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh no. Oh.
Lag?
What? Oop.
Lag?
There we're back.
Lag.
Whew. I didn't want the idea of coming back and there'd be a chronosphere and all the spells and everything. We didn't miss anything. They've all had to go back. It's just Puck looking for the steal now. It's been disrupted instead. And there's the chrono on top. Disaster. That is chrono used, but that's worth. That's probably going to force Puck's buyback. Whoa. This should be the GG push. But they're taking their time. Relishing it. Savoring this meal.
I wonder how this will go.
Axe showing. That's his blink cancelled. They're going to push it up. This is methodical.
They are taking no chances here.
Like watching a skilled person eat a lobster. They know what they're doing.
Like watching a surgeon operate on a grape.
Exactly.
Like watching Perian play Lich.
Well, alright. Maybe when Sacrifice was still in the game.
Maybe if I could just eat creeps on lane and just have no skill whatsoever involved in my gameplay.
Exactly, easy. Look at the dinosaur just wailing on the building here. Look at all these Ember spirits.
All these Ember spirits. There they are.
They're just chipping. Oh, the Dream Coil catches 3. BKB's popped. They're going to get the Weaver here, I think. They get him. Dead for 105. Axe comes in, gets the call on 2. Puck coming back in. That is a lot of damage, actually. They do get the Ember. Custard is going to be in trouble here. The Lick Show is doing some serious bouncing. This is trouble. Buyback on Grim. Buyback on Warlock. They've used all their spells. Green Box is going for the throne. Puck's going to try and come in here and get a stun. Can he get anything? They are forcing them back. Slowly but surely, there's the disruption. The Mega Creeps are coming in, though. Trouble. Puck dieback. IlleGAL 1 versus the world. Grim and Warlock can't really do much. They're dying of Mega Creeps. Down they go. Call it, team. Call it.
Trouble.
1-1, baby!
Nice, we get a game 3. I love game 3s. Always brings out the craziest Dota.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. If you want more content like this, don't forget to visit our website britishesports.org. Follow all our social channels in the description below, and we'll see you next time.